Hey guys, welcome back. Friday afternoon here, things are winding down a little bit. What I wanted to do was show you something a little bit different today. As you can kind of see, we're overrun with Mustangs, and that's cool too, but we've got something really unusual to show you over here. We're going to take you on a little time trip back to 1957. So come along, I think you'll enjoy it. Here it is, 57 Mercury Turnpike Cruiser Breezeway. So just so much to see. This car's in. It's had some repair work down this left hand side where someone had scraped down the side. So we've done a bit of paint and body work to it. Also rebuilt the engine, or had the engine rebuilt. We don't do them in house, to be fair. So this is back in now, almost ready to fire. So yeah, we just wanted to show you like the excess of 1957. Even down to stuff like the wing mirrors. I mean, they've got to be like £8-9 just for a wing mirror, and like what did that cost to make? It's just wild. As I say, the bumper, you got the dual headlights, massive bumper. Barry and I had these off. Seriously, it's a two-man job to carry that thing. It's just massive. The chrome was just over the top. So this one is a 57. They made them in, Turnpike Cruisers were made in 57 and 58. And they were actually a commemorative type deal for the launch of the interstate traffic system that America has, all the interstates. So hence the Turnpike Cruiser, because of the big turnpikes and the interstates. They were named after that. So that's a little fun fact for them. All sorts of little logos on it, even on the hood. You know, you've got the Mercury logo up high like that, like loud and proud. The hood is reverse opening, it hinges up the front here. You can see, obviously we've got it off for the engine, but you can see the hinges here. Just lots of fun little details. Even like this car is very original, even down to having the original glass washer bottle. We've been very careful of that. The last thing we want to do is break that jar, because you will not get another one, ever. So there's that kind of stuff. Kev's enjoying the ride. Now some of you may have noticed this contraption here, with a little kind of antenna thing here. It's kind of back to that rocket styling that was so popular in the late 50s. But this is actually part of the breezeway system. What the car has, this is actually a vent inside, which we'll show you in a second. There's a little control, and you can open this and your fresh air comes in here. And the back window, the very rear window, is electric, and you can wind that down, and that lets the air in here. It heads out the back window, and hence the breezeway model. So it's just, there's so much to look at. It's just wild. So yeah, moving around, let's take a peek inside. So to give you an idea of how long this thing's been sitting, there's an Arizona 77 historic vehicle plate. So in 1977, this was historic, which is kind of funny. We've got the underdash air conditioning. This is aftermarket. It's actually got Sears written on it here. This is from Sears back in the day. But so many little fun things on this car. You've got a glove box here in the middle, and the light even still works. Now, the rear window control is just over here on this side, and you know that'll put it up and down. That's actually not working, so we've got to address that. You've got your speedo with the little orange bar that comes across. It doesn't have, this speedo doesn't have the traditional needle that goes backwards and forwards. It has a little orange bar that goes across the bottom, which is really, you know, it's just, they did so much that was different. The fuel gauges and temperature gauge go side to side. You know, they operate that direction. These your main big clusters, you've got a tack, the clock. These are soft, these surrounds, and that, believe it or not, was actually the beginnings of a safety system back in the day. Again, the padded dash. Not all the cars had that. You go up a little higher, here's the sun visors. But again, the excess. You have it like that, and you can pull it down and come down like really low. You get about a 2-inch slot to kind of see under the visor if that sun's hitting you. Now's a good time to look. This is the little breezeway vent. It's got direction up and down. It's got your side to side there, and that just lets the air in, which is really nice. But tell you what, Barry, you come around this side and we'll show you all these automatic controls. Right, so a little bit closer look at some of these controls. This car came in on a flatbed, came from California originally. The truck driver couldn't get it started. It took me a while to figure it out, I'll be honest with you guys. Obviously it's got the regular ignition key, no starter here. Alright, so we're like looking for buttons, looking for something, trying to figure out how to make this old girl go. And it was a bit of a challenge, and eventually we figured out it's all in this push button automatic. Now for you Mopar lovers, this is, you know, push button auto is pretty normal, not so normal on a Ford. So you got an actual park engage here. You got a park in your automatic, and that is controlled by this push pull. So you pull it to release it, and you actually push it in to put it into park. Now you would have seen this little button here popped out. This is actually, this N and S on here is for neutral. So you push it, you actually have to take it out of park. It's going to be in neutral. Then the S is for start. Some keel. It's not actually going to fire yet. I'm not quite finished getting it in. But yeah, that little button there is your starter motor. You've got drive, low, and reverse. But it's so different to kind of anything else certainly I've ever come across. And I'm guessing probably for most of you guys. Now your park, you've got a little park brake here. So we're trying to get that off and pulling at this, but it's actually the hood release. And then little tiny vertical writing down here. You may not be able to pick it up on the camera, I'm not sure. But that is the brake release. You actually push that and that releases the e-brake. So yeah, that was fun figuring that out, but it's all part of the, you know, the gift of these old cars. They're just fabulous, the stuff they did. So yeah, heading around the back, you've got all this bright work. I'm not quite sure what you call this, but we've got the hubcaps, by the way. Now all the badges are intact. And look at the trunk. And it's just gigantic. Now, little thing that might interest you, this little emblem here. I was looking around on eBay for some parts for this. There's one of these for sale on there. Over 500 bucks, just for that. Right, we're going to have a little look in the trunk, see what we got in here. Now this little guy is Hermes. We've got the god Hermes. And it has the wings on his helmet. It was also known as Mercury, so that's why he's on here. It's a Mercury Turnpike Cruiser. And here we have a trunk big enough for the Las Vegas Mafia. They would have liked this. Yeah, it's an old Survivor. You know, there's been a bit of water in here. There's a little bit of mold going on and sort of stuff. The guy who owned it, you know, we're dealing with the guy's daughter now. This is a Wall Street Journal from Friday, October 31, 1969. So he's got like lots of editions of it. It's kind of cool. It's almost interesting to read. So yeah, we got a bit of all sorts in here. Yeah. Again, giant rear bumper. We've got this great big section here, and that is just a reflector, nothing more than a reflector. And another reflector here, and then reverse and stop tail lights, that kind of thing. Now, even stuff like this Wallace Motors thing. There's that Colorado Springs. I think that's Colo Springs. That'd be Colorado Springs, wouldn't it, Barry?
I think.
Yeah, I think that's probably where it's from. But you guys, if anyone out there knows for sure, just let me know. It's always fun to hear about them. And yeah, this is this back window. You got the pillars here, and this whole panel of glass just slides down into the trunk, and you've just got all that open air breezeway. So yeah, that's our little time capsule, little time travel episode back to 1957 and all the chrome and the bling and the excess of that era. And for me, it's really cool. I love this car. It's fantastic. It's a 4-door hardtop, no centre pillar. Just chrome for miles. Fortunately, most of the bright work is in pretty good shape, because getting it all redone and recombed would just cost you a small mortgage. It would be wild. But this car's not getting restored. We're getting it running, getting it right, working right, make sure everything goes up and down and lights work, that kind of thing. And then just going to drive it. And really, why wouldn't you? Like, it's a time capsule. This is a car that's pretty much on its first paint from 1957. So what's that, 60, 65, something like that years old? I don't know that a new Lincoln is going to be looking this good in 65 years. So we'll have to wait and see for that one. Anyway guys, I say it's Friday. We're getting ready to cut out. As usual, Friday there'll be a little bourbon waiting for me to get home. And I'm going to go and chill. So you guys chill, have a great weekend. Might try and put a video together for you tomorrow. We'll see how things go. And in the meantime, have a good time.